Hey guys, welcome back to the FACEIT community stream. Changing my intro time and time again, but I'm MVC, joined by DDK here for the first quarter-final matchup. It's going to be Pavel versus bpatela. bpatela. DDK, how do you pronounce it?
Bpatela. Nah, it's bratela, I think, and I mean it means it means brother. I think if I remember correctly in Russian. But as we're Brits, you know, we don't have to roll those R's or anything crazy. We can just go with bratela and embrace our accent.
Yeah. See, the English, it's weird with English people because I find foreign people usually both speak and write better English than us. We get a load of bad habits, and obviously you've got all the accents across the UK as well, some of which are non-understandable. People from Liverpool and Scotland and Ireland sometimes just speak completely different to people like us, but yeah, regardless.
I think it's because like in the public schools and stuff, they're like, well, you know, people are speaking English around you all the time. We don't need to bother to like teach you that. We can use that time on other stuff. Like I remember being pretty taken aback when you do GCSEs, and for people who aren't English, GCSEs, that's what how old are you, like 15, 16?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
So when you're about that age, all of a sudden you go from like 4 or 5 subjects to like 12, 13, 14 or something. It's kind of like ridiculous, I think. Yeah. But one thing that they miss in all this education is a comprehensive study of the language which you speak, which I think is pretty atrocious. But we're not here to talk about education policy in the UK, so
yeah, we're in a different matter. Here we go, the first best of 3 map here between Pavel and bpatela here on Bloodrim. What was the second and third map, DDK? Did you get that?
I did not get that. The change server, I lost everything from the console logs.
Okay.
Either way, I'd be predicting lost worlds between these two guys. But I mean, bpatela's performed very well there. But we're seeing a very even start right here. Of course, bpatela's going to pick up that. You know, he's lacking the armor, but he picked up the mega, and that's really the important thing. Even with no armor, he can quickly get some armor. There's loads of it on this map. But there you go. You're talking previously about how powerful the mega is. Sorry, the plasma gun is, and the mega completely removed by like 5 bullets to the plasma.
It's a ridiculous amount so far. bpatela's going to have even a tough time trying to hit the plasma or the lightning gun on this game. Doesn't even want to stick around for it. And we'll back off toward the yellow armor. Again, bpatela's not really going to be in a position to challenge for mega health either at the moment. So for bpatela, he's just going to fire some grenades down here. We're going to stick on his pod for a moment. Again, I do apologise for switching. It's just something I do when I stream and cast. I really shouldn't be put in front of the streaming computer. But yeah, he's going to just try and get a time on the items he needs, back away across the map, which on Bloodrun is relatively easy. You've got this stairwell down here as he hits a nice railgun to back away. You've got the teleport exit just below him. You've also got on the other side, if you take the teleport, some stairs to the upper yellow armor. So it's just a really easy map to play defensive on, and we often see very low scored games, and actually he's going to be caught out here. The Rocket's just actually helping Pavel to navigate those corridors. 1-0 on the board here for Pavel.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good now. I mean, Pavel winning last week. He's up against someone who could quite easily put in an upset. bpatela is a really promising and exciting up-and-comer, and at the moment Pavel's going to push his way onto this red. You know, bpatela's not in a position to stick around. He's just trying to harass and annoy him, provide some presence on the map so that Pavel cannot do exactly what he wants. Because even though Pavel's completely in control, one of the beautiful things about grenades, which we saw bpatela using, is grenades, they serve to slow your opponent down, divert their path, basically make their options a little bit more weird or awkward or limited, and that's all he can really do. So it's good that bpatela's at least doing what he can, but it's going to take some time for him, as he's only on 50 armor, to really bring that stack up. He's not going to want to take any kinds of fights or engagements. This is the point where if he deals damage, it's negligible. And look at this, Pavel's getting aggressive there, and oh no, that could have been a huge opportunity.
Yeah, so unfortunate for him, but for now, both players are going to be able to survive. Actually, both about even at the moment as well, so this next mega health could be interesting. Pavel does have the slight armor advantage, but bpatela is in position below, and he does have a lightning gun, so he could just push out if Pavel decides to drop down. Instead, looks for the railgun. There comes the opportunity to drop down. That was a really odd weapon choice from bpatela. Gifted that frag to Pavel and the mega health, and well, that's just, it almost could have gone his way there, DDK.
Yeah, it wasn't too horrendous, that's for sure. And it's only 2 frags, so it's not like he's in any kind of a desperate position at the moment. So he just has to keep things cool. And oh, that was very, very unlucky there. I'm not sure about going full on aggressive like that, but to take the damage in the way that he did was certainly very fortunate for Pavel, and he strung another frag together. This is danger zone now for bpatela, as he cannot really afford to go down anymore.
Cheeky little jump from Pavel there. This is surely going to be a frag. Oh no, the second rocket didn't quite connect. That's going to allow bpatela to back away. I'm going to switch on to him for just a little while as he is trying to play this defensive game, but actually has been gifted a very large opportunity here as a result. And he may even be able to try. He should, in fact, this should be his mega health, to be honest. Nice railgun.
That's pretty awesome. It's another display of in Quake when, let's say, in theory, on paper, Pavel should never have died here, and he should never have given up the red, but of course mistakes happen, and even though bpatela's thinking, well, I can never get that red, he saw that Pavel messed up the rocket jump, and he knows then, like, by instinct, by gut, he doesn't think about it, he knows by his gut that he should just go for it. And look at this, now he's managed to get himself back in the game, and here he goes, he's going to make another frag. And that's now 2 to 4 for bpatela, so he's close to tying this one up. And I don't see Pavel rather, really putting in too much trouble for bpatela after that rail.
Yeah, bpatela's really hitting some sick rail guns, and it's always when Pavel has nothing after spawn as well. Exactly the time you want to connect. Your health just gets stripped so quickly, and bpatela's in control of the 225s. The only HP pool available really for Pavel is that upper 50. And again, bpatela's in position for that as well, able to deny Pavel, push him away, and you can see he's expecting him to come through the teleport, and actually the 50's not up yet, so really tough times for Pavel, and this is just exactly what bpatela wanted. 19 seconds until this mega health, and again in that time, oh, that's ballsy from Pavel. This is going to be another frag. Fantastic pickup with that rocket.
That is very fortunate to hit a rocket like that. Very well played by bpatela. And this is Quake for you, ladies and gents. One mistake, and the mistake was Pavel missing that rocket jump to red armor. You go from control and 4 frags up to a position where you lose everything, and bpatela's about to reset the match, gonna get that tied game, and it's looking amazing for him now.
I think this might actually be evil in disguise. He's got his spawn button now. Yeah, he has his spawn button, gents, and any ladies watching. He's in a tough spot now, unfortunately, after that frag. But again, he's got to where he wants to be, and now it's just a question of trying to stay alive. A cheeky little rocket. 10 HP is working with it at the moment. 50 HP is going to help. Yellow armor as well. And that's a brilliant last 3 minutes of Quake Live on Boogie.
Oh, and this is a really important moment. That was such an important moment. We had both players, they both realized their stacks were pretty much even. Pavel had a little bit less though, but he realized that if he gave that mega away, he's not getting that frag back that he needed to tie the game up. On paper, technically speaking, in theory, for like another 2 minutes or so, and with 4 minutes left in the game, you don't really want to be in that situation, so he just went for it. It's a little bit of a risk, and he managed to hit the rockets that he needed, and now he's in a tight game position where bpatela has 0 points of armor.
Yeah, really has been. I mean, it started off with Pavel, and then we had bpatela's a brief moment of rain, and now back onto Pavel. Mega health stolen away though on bpatela, but again, a lot of lightning and damage coming out. Pavel's not going to be too phased with that item going away, and again, he's in control of the items on the map. Time is very quickly running away now. We've got 3 minutes left, and even the next frag could seal the deal if the spawns go the way we've seen them so far. Nice railgun response again from bpatela. Just holding his ground yet again, just keeps coming out for more. Pavel's got to be worried at the moment. bpatela really isn't missing. And neither is Pavel. There comes the frag, 5 to 4. But again, so low. Mega health's coming up. Will bpatela come charging through? No.
Oh, that is a shame. I feel like bpatela made a really aggressive, very pushy play where he was moving into a lot of damage, very inefficient fight, and he didn't put a follow-up in. I thought the plan might have been to attack that mega, and he could have done. Oh wow, great rail connected, but still, bpatela, I feel like being a bit over aggressive, a bit over eager in positions he didn't have to be, and now he's, because of those choices, he is behind 2 frags.
That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, is he making these decisions because he's hitting ridiculous railguns, or is this just the way he wants to play just because that's what he wants to do? Mega Health does go to him, but again, Pavel going to find the frag. And now we're at that 3 frag lead now here on Bloodrun, and a railgun off the spawn. Bretela's just getting exactly what he put out onto Pavel. At the time remaining, well, the nerves are going to definitely be on his side now. But it is a best of 3, not just a best of 1, so... And we have 2 more maps to go if he's not able to find a way back. And that's an unfortunate first rocket. The second one's brilliant. But again, just Pavel utilising the stack that he has in hand. Comfortable frag. And at this point, Pavel really doesn't even need to push through the frags. He can just hold his ground. Although this is risky. We'll get the frag.
Yeah, it's a result that, as we see the rest of the time in the first might get forfeited, and Pavel, of course, taking Blood Run. I feel like it's a result score-wise and pace-wise that I would have expected from, let's say, these 2 names on paper. Pavel is the better jeweler from more or less every perspective. I feel like bpatela isn't too... I feel like bpatela has a similar playstyle to Pavel. He's not too far away. I might be mistaken there, but I feel like that's okay to say. And this was a really big chance for him. He had some good opportunities there, but overall, Pavel, better jeweler. He won. He was a little bit smarter on many of the situations. Even though the luck was, I think bpatela had a bit more luck. Pavel was able to take it with just strong decisions. And this is Lost World. It's quite funny. I didn't know what the second map was, but I predicted it. You can always, if there's going to be a Blood Run, and it's probably a Lost World following if you're looking at 2 Russians.
Yeah, I mean, this is bpatela's pick. Pavel did take Lost World, but again, I like the 2 Russians. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's just, they are Russian maps. They both probably played this the same amount, which is a ridiculous hell of a lot. Here we go, live on map number 2. It is Pavel versus bpatela. Pavel with the 1 map advantage here in the best of 3. Winner goes through to the semi-final to play I don't know who yet. It hasn't been decided, but watching bpatela off the spawn, looking not too bad for himself. Doesn't have the rocket there.
Yeah, Pavel got by far the better spawn there. We can see why. The thing about that spawn that Pavel got is that he sacrifices a lot of, let's say, health and armor. He picks a lot of it up, but by rocket jumping, he can quickly collect all the weapons he needs and gets position on the second yellow by the LG. And oh my god, the grenades. So bpatela's going to switch things around very quickly. But yeah, if you can hit the execution there in Pavel's spot, Pavel got the better spawn, hands down.
Yeah, I just want to apologise to guys on the stream. For some reason, on the map changes, my follow killer button just not. It doesn't seem to save in my config for whatever reason today. I'll try and fix that again. Keep trying between the games, but tried it 1-to-1 here at the moment. bpatela's pov at the moment. Here on the middle map, just trying to feel out where exactly Pavel is.
So, bpatela in position for this mega health, and of course Pavel is around there. Pavel just wants the item time and to deal damage here. That's what his position's all about. And you can see bpatela is trying to cut off that attempt because red is actually up. But if you look at the situation, I don't think bpatela wanted to drop there, but still positioning. That's what this is about for bpatela, and it's going to go the way of Pavel because, again, bpatela shouldn't have fallen there, but he did the right move, rocket jumping to cut off that yellow, and it forced, like, rerouting his opponent to that red armor. That was the right move.
Yeah, a bit of an MG battle, but the 50 HP going to save Pavel in that exchange. You can actually hear him screaming as well, so that pushback, going to gift him the mega, gift him the red armor here. Nice denial with the rocket launcher, did get the slight connection as well, and nice prediction there to find the frag, 3-1. And again, in perfect position to take this up yellow as well. And I mean, look at the side of the map. This is going to be so difficult for bpatela to really pick up anything at this point. He's got to wait for a great opportunity to try and get in middle to take the rocket launcher. He's not at the lightning gun. I don't know if he's picked it up. So, in fact, we'll have a quick switch over to him and have a look. Yeah, he has nothing but the shotgun, so tough period here for bpatela. But again, on Lost World DDK, it's quite easy for him to sort of avoid Pavel, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and we can see he's just getting a bead on his opponent's position and just collecting armor. And I feel really bad for bpatela in a way because as we see the rocket jump here, very standard from Pavel to steal away this next yellow. Looks like bpatela's actually going to try and fight for this one, and he does a great job. He gets Pavel down to 25 health. So Pavel, despite having position, is in a very fragile state as bpatela does have some LG still, not many cells in it, but it seems like Pavel with the position, that's all he needs to actually be okay. But I feel kind of bad for Bratela not getting more out of the situation previously, where he had control and he was pushing Pavel to red. But this fight, oh my god!
I thought originally he was going to push him off the side of the map. Then he survived, and then he just decided to drop down anyway for whatever reason. Interesting, but yeah, still just 3 minutes and 20, 4-1 on the board. But again, just Pavel after every fight able to pick up something, keep himself in there. 50 HP. Again, just like walking around the map, taking exchanges when Bratela surfaces, and then just falling back to recuperate. Mega health's coming up.
So it's Bratela sitting on the position. He has another rising time, but this is problematic, and I'll talk about this red pickup again as a guy out of control in later on. But Bratela's able to steal that one away, and this is kind of the risk with your opponent who's out of control, able to take that red, is that you do get a lot of opportunities to throw damage at him. But in this case, Pavel missed all the damage on the exit for Bratela. So Bratela now is in a fantastic position, and that's the risk that you're looking at there. And there are a lot of pluses to doing it. Let's talk about that later. But you see, Bratela now has a bearing on when the Mega's going to be. So he's setting himself up. He doesn't want to take a fight, but that rocket will change a lot here. Now he can prep for the red. And look at the damage there. It's not going to kill his opponent, of course, but he's setting himself up for a frag and better positioning because he can bully his opponent around later. But the problem is he has no rockets. That's a really big deal.
Yeah, we'll switch on to Bratela for the moment. He's been able to pick up the rocket box. 5 to the name. There we go, red and mega. Will Bratela drop? Looks like he just wants to again just deal damage from the distance. We've seen Pavel hit some ridiculous rockets there, so Bratela just have to be a little bit careful. Jump comes out. Probably going to get it. Not sure if that was a fake or not. But Joe's just going to allow him to pick up the items for now.
Interesting that Bratela opted there. He knew when the Mega was, unless he just forgot somehow. But he saw the last one. So interesting that he allowed Pavel to take that one. He could clearly have cut off the position there. And he instead just maintained his position. And he's on 200 armor, and that's what we would expect. But now Pavel's actually better stacked. He's getting a better start to this fight too. So Bratela, he's in a terrible position. And if you look at hindsight, you're going to say, why didn't you take that Mega, Bratela, when you had the chance?
Oh, this could work out for his favour though. Is he in the lava? Yeah, he's going to be able to get out quick enough though. Actually, this is kind of a ballsy move for Bratela to sit here with just 38 points of health. I think it's a risk to even stick around with those grenades coming down, yeah. And he might even lock himself out of the red because Pavel's surely just going to come charging through. You would think. No. Maybe he doesn't realise how low Bratela was.
Yeah, that's an interesting case there. I think that Pavel kind of made one of those, he predicted that the red would just be gone because he knew when it was going to spawn. And Bratela, he jumped past it just as it spawned. So maybe Pavel was like, wow, well, the red's gone. I'll just go take this Mega. And then he was like, wait, what's happening? Seeing Bratela in positions where he couldn't have been had he stuck around for that red armor. So that's probably why Pavel wasn't there to pressure it. And we can see now Bratela's pushed the stack up again, and all it takes is one direct rocket for Bratela, and he's really in this.
Yeah, but at the same time, what Pavel of course does know is that here on Lost World, you can just make Bratela come to him, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities for opening damage in these doorways, these corridors, the teleport exit. But if Bratela does come in, and as soon as that time starts ticking down to 2 and 1 minute remaining, there's going to be no other option. So that 3 frag lead is probably going to be more than enough, providing Pavel doesn't epic fail his mouse disconnect or he misses some ridiculously easy rockets. So Bratela's really got to find this moment, and it's going to be so difficult as well. Interesting to see how he's going to proceed on in these remaining 3 minutes.
He's been working hard, and he's finally receiving some rewards as he actually does have that Mega now. He's been building for that for so long, and look at this. He's trying to catch his opponent Pavel, trying to be sneaky, burning some of that stack for some sneaky moves, and it's not really working out so far. I'm kind of starting to worry for Bratela because his stack is ticking down, he's getting lower and lower, and Pavel just been picking stuff up. And here goes the Mega. This is a big moment now as Pavel does have the time and he does steal it away. And Bratela now, look at this. If we just look at the last 30 seconds, it just makes Bratela look like a fool, frankly.
Yeah, actually, it's just a free Mega there, and he's outstacking Bratela. Like at this point, with literally 2 minutes remaining, the first rocket has to be so phenomenal that, well, Pavel has to drop into the lava, I feel, because he's gonna be able to push back away. Like at this point, Pavel doesn't need to pick up Mega, he doesn't need to pick up Red. He can just utilize the 50 HP bubbles on the map, moving away if bpatela does charge through and just deal free damage. And this is going to be exactly what we saw there, a free rocket coming out. bpatela not able to deal the damage he wants to deal. Oh wow, that's a free rocket though. This could be good for him, but again, look at this, the plus back defensive rockets from Pavel. It's so hard to combat.
Yeah, it's really difficult, and bpatela is so unfortunate that when he had that huge stack that his risks didn't pay off, and it did make him look a little bit foolish, but that's what happens when you guess wrong. It does make you look a little bit stupid. And bpatela now, he's getting more and more desperate. He's got that red, and now he doesn't really have as much time to pick and choose as he did, and he should really be thinking about this mega here, be charging in on top of it. There it is, and this is now the big opportunity. He's just got to get the fight. No matter how he gets it, it doesn't really matter, because he's got to start making the frags now, and he does have a chance, but again, he's got to make it happen now.
Yeah, look at this, down to 28 points of armor. The 1 minute remaining timer has been activated, and we're down to 50 seconds. Add the spawn delay, 15. Eliminate that from the timer at the upper right, and that's the time bpatela has left remaining. And yeah, it's surely falling away thick and fast. A nice early rocket, but again, he's so early for this mega. Look at the time wasted. Even this is probably going to be enough to secure the game for Pavel. And you can see just the spam rockets from the distance. Pavel knows exactly where he is, and bpatela has to drop here, and that is going to be one free rocket for Pavel, guaranteed. And actually, Pavel's just going to back away.
Yeah, looks like bpatela, it's got 20 seconds left for 3 frags now. Looking less and less possible, as Pavel is just playing the keep away game, and he should have this in the bag in 2 maps. This should be Pavel moving forward in the tournament. And yeah, just evading 10 seconds left, it's impossible at this point. So bpatela, unfortunately, 2 very close games, but I feel like Pavel definitely took the time in these 2 matches to show that good luck, bad luck, doesn't matter. Over a period of 20 minutes, the better player won.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But during that game, DDK, we were going to talk about, you were going to bring a point up, I believe.
Oh, right, yeah. It's good that you mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was there. I think it was...
So there was one moment where bpatela made a really nice move, and there was 2 choices for Pavel. There was red armor up, and bpatela could have just gone and taken it, but what he did instead was he rocket jumped up to the yellow, and what that did was it made it a situation so the only armor that his opponent Pavel could get would be the red armor, and on paper that doesn't look so good, but what happens is because he had the advantage of the LG, he actually gets a lot more chance at doing damage in an open area. So even though he gets only the 50 in the course of his opponent taking that the red rather, he gets that opportunity for a lot of damage. And if he's able to execute very well, or Pavel messes up somehow, he can get a frag there, and he can get basically overwhelming control, and he constantly has the pressure on his opponent. Whereas if he lets his opponent take the yellow, the upper yellow, and instead he just goes for the red, now Pavel's just playing his keep away game and just stacking up. But instead, playing proactively, he's able to constantly force these pressure situations and the engagements to actually maybe get a frag, because it can be hard to do that on Lost World. So that's like why letting your opponent, because we see that a lot, that people get that red armor out of control, and it's one of those situations where either the guy out of control gets away with no damage and it's a good situation for him, or the opportunities, and this is I think the main point, you get the opportunity to take a frag and get a lot of damage as the guy pressuring from the good positions. So that is one of the reasons why it's actually a very good map, is because of situations like that.
Yeah, I think another player that does that all the time as well is Cypher. I can't count the amount of times we see him do that on maps like Blood, and he'll just rocket jump for the red, even if he sometimes can't get out of it. As long as he can do another rocket jump back, if he takes a railgun, it's going to be okay. And if anything, he's just stole it away from his opponent. That's something that we see time and time again. And it's always nice to watch than someone just giving up the red time and time again. But what we'll do is take a quick break, guys. We're going to be right back with Madball up against Cypher in the semi-final. So I'm going to assume Cypher then took out Ins. I think it was 2-0. I know Zoot was casting or chat casting in the chat. So shout outs to him. But yeah, don't go too far, guys. Again, tell your friends that we're here on the Faceit TV community stream. Let them know Quake Live's going on. We've got 3 games left, 2 semi-finals and a grand final to do. So 2 more best of 3s and 1 best of 5. So quite a few maps to go. And I'm pretty sure Madball and Cypher is going to be quite exciting. Both currently sat at top 2 in the Faceit rankings. Madball in first place with 38, Cypher in second with 34. Don't go too far.